Are you kidding me? Pretending to be sick? Do you even know what I went through? It wasn't a ruse. I genuinely had a heat stroke. The reason my mother-in-law was so furious was that I couldn't attend my father-in-law's funeral. It's not like I didn't want to be there. From the morning, I felt unwell with symptoms of heat stroke and couldn't even stand up. I deeply regretted missing the funeral. But my mother-in-law didn't care. She berated me, saying, "Heat stroke. You could have come if you really pushed yourself." I was so weak, I couldn't even stand. I thought attending would be more of a hassle. After our argument, my mother-in-law forcefully pushed me, and oh no, it happened right at the top of the stairs. Losing my balance after the shove, I tumbled down the stairs. Suddenly, my mother-in-law shouted, "Watch out!" It took me a moment to realize, but I saw her beloved dog at the bottom of the stairs. Even if she warned me to avoid it, I had no choice but to collide with the dog. My name is Amy, and I'm turning 26 this year. I've been married to my husband Kevin for 2 years, who is 4 years older than me. We don't have kids yet, but we live happily together. "Did you go to my mom's again today?" Kevin asked. "Yeah, sorry. I have to do that every day. Ever since we got married, I started a part-time job at a local supermarket. But every day after work, I must visit my in-laws. My mother-in-law is a stay-at-home mom, but she never does any housework herself." "You're going to keep working after marrying Kevin?" she asked during our first visit for introductions. "Why not switch to part-time, then come to our house every day and help with the chores? Your domestic skills will improve, right? If you don't like it, then you shouldn't marry Kevin." I reluctantly agreed, wanting to marry Kevin despite the ridiculous condition. Since then, I've been going to my in-laws' house every weekday to do chores. I'm told not to come on weekends because my father-in-law is home. She probably doesn't want him to find out. I have to handle everything: laundry, cleaning, preparing dinner, and shopping. On Fridays, I also have to prepare meals for the weekend. "It must be tough for you every day," Kevin acknowledges. "You can take a break once in a while, you know." "Yeah, but I'm okay," I reply, and my husband, seeing how exhausted I look every day, tries to comfort me with kind words. If I didn't have to go, I wouldn't. Not only do I have to do chores at my in-laws' place, but I also have to handle our own home. I once begged my mother-in-law for a day off, but she coldly suggested, "Oh, really? Then we don't need you in this family anymore. Why don't you divorce Kevin and live a carefree life on your own?" I don't want a divorce. My parents were thrilled about our marriage, so it's been hard for me to tell Kevin that it's too much for me. How much longer will this continue? Physically and emotionally, I felt I was reaching my breaking point and had dark thoughts every day. But I never imagined things would escalate so much with my mother-in-law. One day, after finishing my part-time job, I went to my in-laws' house as usual. My mother-in-law had a grave expression on her face. "What's wrong?" I asked. "Oh, Amy, it's nothing," she replied. But her somber face and low voice betrayed her usual self. Despite her reluctance, I pressed her again. "You clearly look upset. What happened?" "Well," she began, "my husband has been diagnosed with colon cancer. They've given him only a short time to live. He's been urgently hospitalized, and he might not come back home." I hadn't seen my father-in-law recently, so I had no idea he was suffering from such a severe illness. Being told about the limited time he had left, I didn't know how to comfort my mother-in-law, and I felt helpless. "You don't have to be down too," I said softly. "Just go home for a day." "Do you not want me to do the chores?" I asked. "I just want to be alone today, so no need for chores," she replied. Respecting her wishes, I left their home that day. But thinking about it, it's quite heartbreaking. If my husband, Kevin, had such an illness, it wouldn't be someone else's business. My mother-in-law must have been devastated. I decided to give her some space, and I didn't go to their house the next day. However, the day after that, she called. "Hello, how are you? Why didn't you come yesterday? I thought since you were feeling down, that's no excuse. Come over now." She didn't have to get so angry. After she hung up abruptly, I headed to their house immediately. "You worthless daughter-in-law," she shouted as I entered. "The laundry is piled up, and I couldn't even eat dinner yesterday. Get to work, and while you're at it, take care of the dog." Entering their living room, I was met with a chaotic scene of clothes strewn everywhere. How could they make such a mess in just a day? In a way, that's quite a talent. "I'll get right on it," I said, starting by picking up the clothes scattered on the floor and beginning to do the laundry. And there was such a pile. While I was operating the washing machine, my mother-in-law called from the living room. "Why are you just standing there? Hurry up and clean." I know, I muttered, holding back from retorting. If I talked back, she might threaten divorce again. She instructed me to clean the room where her beloved dog stayed. Ah, what's that awful smell? That room didn't have air conditioning, and the poor dog living in such conditions was pitiable. Moreover, its waste was left untouched, creating a terrible stench. "You should take better care of the dog," I said quietly, knowing this was her way of getting back at me. "If you care about the dog, then why?" While listening to my mother-in-law, I was thinking internally. After that day, her mistreatment escalated. Taking advantage of my father-in-law's absence, she started summoning me not just on weekdays, but on weekends too, burdening me with all sorts of chores. Ultimately, I even ended up having to walk her dog. Living this way, I lost a significant amount of weight. I was sleep-deprived, waking up early, and looking after my own home became quite a challenge. Then, 6 months after my father-in-law's hospitalization, he passed away after his long battle. In the hospital room, my mother-in-law cried out, and I shed tears watching that scene. Though I hadn't seen him much recently, he'd always cared for me. It was heartbreaking that he was gone. I wanted to pay my respects and gratitude at the funeral. But the next day, I woke up feeling extremely ill. I wanted to bid him farewell with all my gratitude. However, when I woke up the next morning, I felt terribly ill. It was hard even to stand up. I had been making various preparations for my father-in-law's funeral, but symptoms similar to heat stroke began to manifest gradually. My hands and feet started cramping. "Hey, are you okay? You look pale." Kevin voiced his concern around noon. Apparently, my complexion was very off. "Yeah, I feel awful. My hands and feet are cramping. It might be heat stroke. Don't overdo it, okay?" "Yeah, I think I'll be okay if I just rest a bit." I reassured Kevin and decided to rest in a cooler room. However, even when it was time to head to the funeral, my condition didn't improve. "I'm sorry. I'm not feeling well. If I go like this, I might just be a bother." I expressed my regret to Kevin. "It's all right, Amy. Why don't you rest at home? I'll explain everything to everyone." "I'm so sorry I couldn't be there for your dad's last moments," Kevin comforted me. "Don't apologize. It's only natural to prioritize your own health. Make sure you get some good sleep, okay?" Reassured by my husband's kind words, I saw him off as he left for the funeral. Feeling relieved, I soon fell asleep. When I woke up and checked the clock, it was just past 5 o'clock a.m. the next morning. What? I slept that long? I was surprised at how long I'd been out. But thanks to that, I felt completely refreshed as I went about my usual routine, making breakfast and cleaning up. "Good morning. Did you sleep well?" my husband asked as he woke up. "Good morning. Thanks to you, I'm feeling great now." About yesterday, I explained everything to my husband. "I explained everything to Mom, but she's really upset you didn't attend the funeral," my husband said. "Figures. Guess I have to go and apologize," I sighed. I wasn't really looking forward to it, but I decided to head to my in-laws' house and apologize to my mother-in-law in person. "Hello. What are you doing here?" My mother-in-law greeted me coldly. "I'm sorry about yesterday. Just come in for now," I pleaded. Upon arriving at my in-laws, I apologized and was allowed inside. She glared at me with cold eyes, but she didn't say or do anything further and quickly retreated to her room upstairs. I need to apologize properly, I thought to myself. I followed her upstairs and tried to talk to her. "I'm really sorry about yesterday," I began. What are you sorry for? She snapped. For not being able to attend the funeral, I replied softly. The moment I said that, my mother-in-law screamed at me, her face red with anger. Are you kidding me? Faking sickness? Do you have any idea what I went through? I wasn't faking it. I really had heat stroke. I truly didn't want to skip the funeral. I wanted to be there for my father-in-law's last moments. I explained, but of course she didn't know how I felt and continued to yell at me. Heat stroke. You could have come if you really tried. My mother-in-law insisted, her anger unabated. It was so bad. I couldn't even stand, and I thought I'd just be in the way. Stop it with the excuses. I don't want to hear it. After arguing with my mother-in-law, she pushed me hard. Oh no, the argument took place right at the top of the stairs. Losing my balance, I tumbled down the stairs. Suddenly, she shouted, "Watch out!" In a split second, I realized her beloved dog was at the bottom of the stairs. Even if she told me to watch out, there was nothing I could do. I ended up colliding with the dog. What have you done? Frantically, she rushed down the stairs, ignoring me. She was only concerned about her dog, so in her eyes, I'm less important than the dog. As I faded into unconsciousness, that thought lingered in my mind. When I woke up, I was in a hospital bed. The hospital. Why? I was disoriented, looking around in confusion. Amy, you're awake. Thank God. My husband was beside the bed, relief evident on his face. Why do you look so upset? I fell from the stairs. Oh, I remember now. I recalled being pushed down the stairs by my mother-in-law. She told me you slipped and fell. I was so worried. Slipped? Did she tell you that? Kevin asked. Yes. Why? I replied. She pushed me, and now she's lying about it. When I apologized for not attending your dad's funeral, she got heated and pushed me. I remember colliding with her dog after that. What? You're kidding, right? Kevin exclaimed. I'm not kidding. When I apologized for not attending your dad's funeral, she got heated and pushed me. I remember colliding with her dog after that. I explained, but hearing the truth from me, Kevin buried his face in his hands. Well, it's no wonder. His own mother did something almost murderous. Mom did that. I'm so sorry, Amy. Kevin said, then staggered out of my hospital room. Luckily, I only suffered bruises and was discharged the next day. There's still a bit of pain, but it shouldn't interfere with daily life. As I entered the house, I could hear Kevin arguing with his mother from the living room. What have you done? I've told you. I didn't do anything, Kevin shouted. What's all the fuss about? I asked, opening the door to the living room where they were arguing. I got home and was confronting Mom about what you told me yesterday, but she insists it didn't happen. I didn't do anything, right? Kevin questioned. The nerve of her to play innocent in front of me. I can't believe her. More importantly, because of you falling down the stairs, my dear dog got hurt. Aren't you going to apologize for that? My mother-in-law retorted. That dog? Glad it was only injured, but is she serious? She's the one who should be apologizing, I thought. My anger towards her starting to bubble up. If you don't say anything, how will we know? Can't you apologize? If you can't, maybe you shouldn't be with Kevin. Should I help you guys divorce? That's enough. I've had it. Having reached my limit, I decided to vent all the frustration. I've been holding back on her. If you want a divorce, go right ahead. But aren't you the one who needs to apologize? Sure, I'm sorry for injuring your dog, but this was all because of you. If you hadn't pushed me, none of this would have happened. What? Do you have any proof that I pushed you? My mother-in-law retorted. If that's how you want to play it, that's fine. Maybe I should have the police investigate this as assault. If she thinks I'm just going to let this slide, she's mistaken, I challenged. But the moment I mentioned the police, her face turned pale. The police? You're exaggerating. I lost consciousness because of what you did. It was fortunate that I only got bruises, but what if it had been worse? What if I had died? You'd be arrested for murder, wouldn't you? I pressed on. So, what will you do? Apologize? I asked. She looked like she was about to cry, but instead of apologizing, she just stood there silently. Losing his patience, Kevin started yelling at her. "What's it going to be, huh? Say something." "Weren't you the one who said silence won't solve anything?" I interjected. I'm sorry. I promise I won't do anything like this ever again. Please forgive me," she finally apologized, but it took her son yelling at her to make her do so. She clearly didn't take me seriously. Even though she apologized, deep down, I felt resentment. "Well, all right. I'll let it slide just this once," I conceded, but she thought I'd forgive everything she's done. Boy, was she wrong. I confronted my mother-in-law and said, "As for this incident, sure, but I'm not going to let go of everything else. Every single day, you took advantage of me. Cleaning, laundry, cooking, shopping. You dumped everything on me. Every time I tried to refuse, you threatened me with divorce. I'm fed up. I never want to see your face again. Just get out of here." I'm so sorry." My mother-in-law's voice wavered, and she slumped to the ground. It seemed her knees had given out, unable to get up. "Don't you dare dump your chores on me again, and if you try anything like this, I won't hesitate to call the police. Got it? Now get out of this house," I demanded. "Yes, I'm sorry." She apologized once more, and in sheer fear, my mother-in-law crawled out of the living room and left my house. "That felt good, Amy? When you get mad, you're kind of scary," Kevin remarked. "Well, maybe if you take me lightly, you'll end up like your mother. I'd never underestimate you." "I'll take it to heart," I replied. After my mother-in-law left, Kevin and I had that conversation. In the past, I was constantly threatened with divorce by her, never really able to speak my mind. This incident allowed me to finally give her a piece of it, a silver lining in an unfortunate situation. Thinking about it, no one can force someone to divorce. Back then, I felt cornered, unable to think clearly. At least now, I don't have to visit and take care of her anymore. She's going to have to step up and do her chores. A week later, I was back to my peaceful routine. The bruises from the fall had healed, and I felt no pain. What made me happiest was not having to go to that stressful house every day. After finishing my part-time job, I returned home to relax and do housework. The simple joys in life felt so rewarding. "I'm home," Kevin announced as he returned from work, though he was later than usual. "Welcome back. You're late today. Did you have overtime?" I asked. "No, I went to check on my mother, right? I might have cut ties with her, but she's still Kevin's only remaining family," I thought. "Oh, I see. How's she doing? Is she okay?" I inquired. But as I asked, Kevin's face darkened. I thought, could she be sick? If so, I genuinely feel sorry for Kevin, losing both parents to severe illness one after the other, I pondered. She's not doing any housework. The house is filled with trash, clothes scattered everywhere, and she hasn't been taking care of the dog either. It stinks so bad, really. She probably forgot how to do housework since she always relied on me. But when I yelled at her, saying if she can't clean, I'll put her in a care facility, she quickly started cleaning. It's just unbelievable, Kevin revealed. After being disappointed by her son and abandoned by her daughter-in-law, she's reaping what she sowed. 6 months later, Kevin occasionally visits her, but she's still as lazy as ever. But I've got my own life now. I have decided to live happily with Kevin and our unborn child, without any interference, I concluded.